Hey there! So, you've been handed IRS Form 4506C and you're trying to figure out what on earth it is? Well, you've come to the right place. We're going to break it all down today.
My guess is you're here because a lender or some other financial institution sent you this form, and you're probably thinking, okay, what am I supposed to do with this?
Don't you worry. That is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to walk through this together, and I promise it is way simpler than it looks. By the end of this, it's going to make total sense.
All right, let's just dive right in. First things first, what is this form? The easiest way to think about it, it's your official permission slip. You're basically telling the IRS, yep, it's okay to share my tax info.
So if you look at the top, its official name is an IVS request for transcript of tax return. The only words you really need to care about there are request and authorize. This has nothing to do with filing new taxes. It's all about you giving the green light for someone else to get a copy of the tax info the IRS already has on you.
And it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. They can ask for a few different types of info. They might want a return transcript, which is basically a summary of your original tax return. Or maybe an account transcript to see things like payments or penalties. The record of account is kind of the whole shebang. It's a combo of both. And then there's the wage and income transcript, which just pulls info from your W-2s and 1099s.
Okay, so that leads to the next big question. Why is anyone even asking for this? It really boils down to just one thing: verification.
See, this form is the key that unlocks a special IRS program called IVES, the Income Verification Express Service. It's a system built specifically for lenders to get totally reliable income info straight from the source. It's pretty much the gold standard for preventing fraud, which is exactly why lenders rely on it to double-check the numbers you gave them.
So let's follow the data trail, shall we? It starts with your lender. They're called the client, and they need to verify your income. That's step one. Step two, you sign the form, giving your permission. Then, it doesn't go straight to your lender. It goes to a special authorized middleman, an IVES participant, who sends it to the IRS. The IRS then sends the transcript back to that participant, who then delivers it securely to your lender. You're just authorizing that very specific, very secure process.
All right, time to get down to business. How do you fill this thing out and, more importantly, not mess it up? We're going to focus on the lines that absolutely have to be right.
Okay, lines 1 through 4 are all about you. The most important thing here, make sure your name and social security number are an exact match to what's on your tax returns. No typos. If you filed jointly, your spouse's info has to be on here too. Fill in your addresses, and then for line 6, you'll usually just put 1040. Finally, line 8 is for the tax year they need.
Now, let's talk about line 5. This is where it can get a little confusing, because this is the section that says who's actually getting your info. A lot of times, this will be pre-filled for you, but you should definitely understand what it means.
Your lender should give you this information. So, for example, in Section 5A, you'll see the name and address of the IVES participant, that secure middleman we just talked about. They're the ones who will actually submit the form to the IRS for processing.
So this authorized participant is a company that's been officially approved by the IRS to handle these requests. Your lender partners with them to get your transcript safely and securely.
And then there's line 5D. This is super important. This is for the client. That's the company that actually needs your info in the first place, like your mortgage lender. So think of it this way. The company in 5A gets the transcript, and the company in 5D is the one who uses it. And trust me, the IRS is serious about this. That field cannot, under any circumstances, be blank.
We are in the home stretch. But before you sign anything, we need to talk about probably the most important part of this whole thing: how to avoid the simple mistakes that get these forms rejected and cause huge delays. And I'm not making this up. The IRS puts this exact warning in bold right on the form. Let me say it again. Do not sign this form unless it is completely filled out. An incomplete form with a signature is an automatic nope from the IRS.
So, before that pen hits the paper, do a final check. Is every single required line filled in? Can someone actually read your handwriting? Is anything missing? Oh, and here's a big one people miss all the time. Did you check that little box in the signature area? You have to. And if you file the joint return, you need 2 signatures, one from each spouse. No exceptions.
Okay, I want you to remember this number, 120.
Why? Because your signature on this form has an expiration date. It's only good for 120 days. If that form shows up at the IRS on day 121, it's getting rejected, and you have to do this all over again. So whatever you do, don't sign it and then forget about it for a few months.
All right, you filled it out, you triple-checked it for mistakes, you signed it, you dated it. So, what happens now?
Well, here's the best part.
Your job is officially done. Seriously, you don't have to worry about where it goes or how to send it. The IVS participant, the company from line 5A, takes it from here. They handle submitting it securely to the right IRS service center.
And just like that, you've done it. You've given your permission and the wheels are officially in motion. That verification process can now move forward, which means your loan application or whatever you're working on can get to the next step.
See? You just navigated a tricky piece of government paperwork, and you totally nailed it. With this hurdle out of the way, you are ready for whatever comes next on your financial journey. Thanks for watching.